In the early 1400s, you painted in tempera. This meant that you used powders of various hues held together by some gelatinous or sticky substance, probably egg yolk. If you painted directly onto the wall of a building, you painted fresco, the Italian word for fresh. The wall was firstly covered with wet lime plaster, probably by your apprentice. You then had to apply your paint before the plaster dried. You would need to paint quickly and confidently. Whatever surface you used, it was difficult to correct your painting or make alterations, especially so in fresco. Then along came Antonello da Messina, who had learned about oil-based paints which had been discovered and used in northern Europe. Giovanni Bellini, son of Jacopo Bellini and brother of Gentile, painted in tempera. He became acquainted with Antonello and learned to work with these oil-based paints as though he was Antonello's apprentice, and changed his whole way of painting. 500 years later, we can still see the results. This is his Madonna with four saints in San Zaccaria. One of Bellini's pupils was known as Giorgione. His real name was Giorgio da Castelfranco Veneto. He was known affectionately as Giorgione because that means Big George. Not many paintings of Giorgione's are known to survive. This one, known to us as The Tempest, is in the Accademia. A young man who we know as Titian, real name Tiziano Vecellio, was also a pupil of Bellini. He also studied Giorgione's work closely. Titian was a prolific painter and lived a long life. Many of his paintings can be seen right round the world. One we did see was the Assumption in the Frari. Next, a man who learned everything that these Venetian masters had to teach him, Veronese, real name Paolo Cagliari. Like Titian, he was prolific and long-lived. It has been said that he composed a picture as well as Mozart did music and Shakespeare words. We saw in the Ducal Palace the triumph of Venice. Venice sits on her throne. On the balcony beneath, the worthy ones of Venice. Below that, the grateful citizenry. A contemporary of Veronese, and with even more paintings still around for our consideration, was Tintoretto, real name Jacopo Robusti, called Little Dyer Tintoretto because of his father's trade. We saw this representation of the Last Supper in San Giorgio Maggiore. And so we have these five to represent the glorious age of the Republic. Others followed. We could mention, about 200 years later, Giambattista Tiepolo and Canaletto. Many more could be cited. Much more could be said. But our 5 minutes are running out.